Hey bros and betties, what is up? My name is Jared from Jarid Gaming, and today we're going to be continuing with how to build the hotel. So, yeah, basically I'm going to use light blue or sky blue wool, and I'm trying to mark out or find where it is below, and I'm going to mark it exactly how it is below up top, so I can mark out how the rooms actually look. You guys can do the same thing by doing what I'm doing, is just like breaking blocks and seeing, and then going underneath and then replacing them with the birch planks. See how I just marked it like that? And then pretty much it's a mirror, because the other side is exactly the same as the one side I'm looking at. So I'm just coming over here and I want to see like where it begins and where the room ends. So I'm going to come right here, and I know for a fact that it comes right up here, over to here, and in. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place a blue wool block right here, all the way up to here, and come right up into here. I'm also going to change the redstone pattern, and it mimics, like I said, it's a mirror, so the same side across is exactly the same as the room we just made. So it's easy to mimic everything. Okay, and then we're just going to connect that right there. And as you guys can see, there's like one redstone that runs right in the middle on one of them, and it's kind of a pain. So we're going to move that. So we're also going to need sand and a little bit of redstone tools, like a repeater, some redstone, and maybe a redstone torch. So I'd grab those materials, and my favorite block to use as a conductor is stone. The reason why I like to use stone is because it's color coordinated, and I always use stone to mark a conductor. Now, for other people that don't know what the conductor is supposed to do, the conductor is actually supposed to help create where electricity passes through. Blocks that can pass electricity can pass through. And there's actually quite a few blocks that can do this. It's just that I like to use stone, but blocks that you cannot use are obsidian and bedrock. Those are not conductors of electricity. So I'm just coming underneath here, and I'm just marking out where or how these rooms are going to be built. So all you guys got to do is do that as well. And then I know for a fact it's the same way over here, right here. Sorry about that. Now I just need to figure out how it is on this side. And it's raining. Okay, so I know I need to come up right here. I can't come up there, and I can come up here. So I know it needs to go over one block. So I'm gonna place one block here, and then come straight across. Now, all the rooms are done. All we need to do is mimic it on the other side now. So I need to come right here, over to here, and there we go. All the rooms are now marked out as they are below. Sorry, I just have to keep clearing my throat. Okay, so now we're gonna work on, well, pause the video here if you guys are not caught up, and resume when you guys are ready, and start to do it. Now what I'm gonna do is get my redstone equipment, which is sand, redstone, and repeaters, and I'm actually going to move this over. So I'm going to delete that repeater, and I'm going to change it to the new direction as a current passing through. I'm going to remove all this redstone here, keep the torch there, remove this redstone, the sand, as a marker of the main redstone line, and I'm actually going to change it up. So I'm going to add a block here, and I'm going to kind of follow this blue wool to minimize the amount of area. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually light this up right here, so I'm going to turn that conductor that way, or the repeater, and I'm just going to keep lining it like that, and there we go. And it lights up the whole floor. If yours does not light up the whole floor, maybe one of your guys' repeaters is not facing the right way, so check that. You guys can put them on a delay if you guys would like, so when you flip the switch, they're all on a delay. But what I'm doing now is I'm filling up this, because this is going to be the main redstone line that I'm going to be using throughout the whole hotel to control the hallways and the elevator lights. So I'm going to need that. So I'm just going to keep going all the way up with it real quick. You guys should do the same. And just place a torch on top of each of the one in the gap. And there we go. We have our whole power source for the whole hotel complete and right there, ready to go. I'm gonna break a place there. Well, and as you guys know, each room is gonna run off its different electrical line from the past one. So the electrical line for each room is gonna be independent. And this room that I'm working on right now will actually have the main power line in there, but it'll be covered, so you guys won't be able to see that later on. And I'm gonna show how to decorate some of the rooms, but other rooms I will not show how to decorate. And whatever I'm doing right now, don't do what I'm doing. I was trying to move it over, but it's actually not possible for me to actually do that. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here. And where I place these, this episode is going to take a little while, mainly because the redstone is a little bit complicated. So make sure you guys pause the video quite frequently, and make sure you watch what I do. Also, I'm going to be installing reset switches for the lights, so if the lights are buggy, you click the reset switch, and it resets the wiring, or it resets how it's done. And that'll fix your lighting glitch. So if it's not actually lighting up, but the lights are on, there's no light actually in the room, you click the reset switch, and it should, in theory, fix your problem. I've tested it, and it does work like a 90% chance of the time, but sometimes, depending on your guys' connection and how laggy or what kind of, like, how old your Xbox is and how full your gigabytes are, it all depends on all that, so that all factors in as well. And it works on mine, and I have a 60 gigabyte hard drive on my Xbox, and 59 gigabytes are used. So it does, so for me it works 90% of the time. I've tested it 10 times, and 9 out of the 10 times it worked. So right now I'm just installing the electrical switch line that's going to be controlling how the lights turn on and off. And it's not going to be placed there. Okay, there's no power, which means that this needs to be on. And I need to place a block right here. And place a torch on top. And there we go. There's my power line. And then next we're going to use our redstone wiring. You guys are also going to need your redstone lamps and repeaters for this job too. And you guys will need not cobblestones, but smooth stone as a conductor. I always use that as the conductor, mainly because it matches the hotel, and like I said earlier, I just like to use it as a marker. It's just my favorite block to use as it. Okay, so I'm going to place a block there, a block here. I'm going to place a block here, which doesn't line up, which means I'm going to have to move it 2 blocks away from the window. Actually, I'm just going to move it over closer to the window right there. So right now we got an L. And I'm going to make a square, so I'm just going to break a block. I wanted to see how the lighting's placed, and I like it how it's placed right now. We don't need a whole lot of lighting in the rooms, considering that each room has its own always-on redstone that is connected, which is our glowstone. Okay, so the next thing is we are going to make a square. So I'm going to connect another light right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out. Break that there, and then I'm going to attach it to the redstone wiring so it's working. And there we go, all lights are on. Now it's time to add our reset switch into this room in a minute. So I'm actually going to remove all this because I don't want I want the reset switch to be as close as possible to all lights, so I'm going to move it in a little bit. I'm gonna place our reset switch right here, and I need iron. I'm gonna place our reset switch switch right here. So do the same thing that we had before, and place it like that. And we don't want to place the torch on top, so what we want to do is we want to place a repeater and redstone. So place a repeater. Then we need a sticky piston, because that's what you need to move the block back and forth. Place that sideways and place a cobblestone block, and that'll move, and hopefully it will fix your guys' problem. Now in theory this is what it's supposed to do. I'm actually going to show you what it's going to do. So I'm going to hook a lever up to it. But you guys want to put a button on it. You hear it moving? I'm actually going to show you how it moves now by placing a redstone clock on it so you guys can see it constantly move. So I'm going to make a redstone clock real quick. Dang it. And then attach it, place a lever somewhere, and I'm going to put these all on 3 so we can watch it, because if you put them all on 1 it'll make a constant power source. Okay, you hear it moving, and I'm going to come up here, I'm going to show you. So it's moving the block back and forth, which is going to make it actually make the block or chunks render, and it's going to make it so it's like, okay, there's a block moving, so I have to render this chunk, and hopefully it'll fix your guys' problem with the lights not actually lighting up, but the lights are actually on, but there's no light being produced. So again, place a button on that one and a lever on the on and off switch, because you don't want to constantly leave it on. So yes, leave that there, because I'm gonna rebuild it there anyways in a minute. I was just showing you guys if you guys wanted to, you guys can install them in all the rooms. But I decided later on in the video that I'm going to just do it anyways, which made the video a lot longer, and pretty much it made it so that all of episode 15 is me just doing redstone work. Okay, so where I'm breaking the holes is that's where the redstone, not the redstone, well yeah, redstone lamps are gonna go. We're going to place one here as well, and we're going to make a square like we did in the other side. So as you guys can tell, these rooms are identical, because the whole hotel's rooms are going to be mirrored, which means that on one side it's exactly the same as the other. Okay, so I think I forgot to do something, and I did. So I was like wondering why my lights weren't on, and I actually need to break these 2 pieces and replace that with the redstone torch. And then in front of the redstone torch I need to place a repeater. And I want to move this back 1 row, like how I have it in the other one. And then I realized that I don't need a repeater where I placed it, because I had a repeater placed, sorry about my language, but I had a repeater placed right there, which means I don't need one right here. So there we go. Now the next thing we are going to work on is redstone wiring this room here. And all the redstone work is going to be hidden in a closet that'll also be a storage room, like where you guys would keep your materials, if you like your iron, your gold, your wood, you know, a storage closet. So all your redstone is going to be hidden inside a storage room, and that's how I pretty much made it work. So right here, I'm just breaking it 1 block in front, and I'm just going to wire this all to it. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to break it right here in the center, so these 2 gaps. So I'm going to break it on those 2 gaps and these 2 gaps here, which is right in front of the red, and right in front of the stone wall, elevator wall. So on either side is 2 blocks away. And then I'm just going to connect that as well. And there we go. So it lights up perfect. Okay, so we got like 3 rooms done, kind of, because now we need to put in the reset switches in all the rooms. So I'm just gonna move all that, and then I'm gonna place it right here to attach it, so that way I have more room when I'm building my reset switch. I don't want it to connect with the other, switches, because if it does, or if it pushes into it, it's gonna break it, and then you guys are gonna have a really hard time getting to it, because you're gonna have to go through the next floor up, which would be the 3rd floor, and it's not really gonna be that great for you. So next thing we're gonna do is actually put in the reset switch circuit breaker, or whatever you want to call it, thing that controls the whole thing. And then we are going to place a piece of redstone on top. And there's our reset switch. Now I'm going to come back over here and rebuild the reset switch like I used to have it before I told you, before I deleted it. So if you guys have it, you guys don't need to watch this, and you guys can just skip it and start on the other side, because on the other side it's going to be exactly the same. And now we're going to go to the fly on the other side, and we are going to rebuild it as well. So right here, we're going to place another one. I figured, hey, I might as well put in the reset switches so people have them, and they're not going to ask how to build them or where should I place them in all the rooms. So that way you guys just have them, and you guys don't really have to worry about it. And there you go. We just need a couple more rooms. Well, not really. We got a lot more rooms to go. I'm going to skip to daytime. So in this room here, we're going to place a circuit breaker over here. I'm going to break it right there, and that's where I'm going to place a light. Remember to pause the video every couple of seconds, because the redstone is a little bit confusing, and there's really not a whole lot of ways I can show you guys how to do it. There's just a way that you guys are just going to have to follow, and then that's how you guys are going to have to figure it out. So that's on the 6th block, so it's from this repeater right here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th block you break it and place it. So I'm trying to show you guys a little bit of what to do, and it isn't really that hard. You guys just got to look at where you guys are building it and placing it, and then that's how you guys are going to be able to do it. And I'm going to connect it back to this line here. And I'm going to break it, and then I'm going to place a repeater there so it's a little bit stronger of a current. And I'm going to place a block right. I want to see the lighting down here. See if I placed enough lights. So you can also, that's just breaking it to see if it's actually lighting up. It just reloads the chunk every time you break a block. Same thing if you like place a dirt block on a sign that's not loaded, that doesn't say anything, and you keep on doing that and break the dirt block and place it, break it, and it sooner or later will make that that chunk reload, and it'll tell you what's on the sign. I'm going to place a light right here. And I'm going to place a light right here. we're gonna do the same thing as we did on this side, on the other side. So right here we're gonna put in our switch, and there's not gonna be any reset switch for this room. I'm sorry, but oh, sorry about that. But I did not figure out where I wanted to put it. If you guys want to put it somewhere and you guys want to do it, go ahead, and you guys can go ahead and do that. But these two rooms won't have reset switches. And right now I'm just like looking at where I placed the other ones, and I'm replacing. So I'm counting, like, so I know this is 1 block away from that spot, and then I know that this is 3, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. And then that's how it is on the other one. And that's how you guys basically just keep following and mimic everything that you guys do, because it's a mirror. Everything is exactly the same as it is in the previous room, kind of, because 2 rooms are exactly the same, but the rest of them aren't. So over here, I realized that there's no light coming from the elevators, so I'm gonna place a light in this hallway. So I'm gonna go break 1, 2, 3 right here, and then I'm gonna go 2 out, and then 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna cover that with redstone, and there we go. That's complete now. We have that all done. So these 2 rooms mimic each other. The redstone doesn't really have to line up perfectly in those 2 rooms, considering that there isn't going to be a reset switch, so it's not like a whole lot of a big deal. Maybe in episode 16, if I figure out where to put a redstone reset switch, I will show you guys how to do it before I cover the whole floor, and then go down below and rebuild build the walls and stuff for each room, and decorate a little bit of the rooms. But again, if you guys want to see the decoration of the rooms at the end of the hotel, like after it's all complete, like after every single video is done and I start something new, if you could become a Facebook friend, because only Facebook friends of Jarid Gaming will be able to actually see, I'm going to mimic this on the other side, will actually be able to see how I made the rooms. They'll get a private video and pictures on how the room was created. And I actually need to mimic what's below here, because I did not do that yet. So again, make sure you guys are a Facebook friend to me, or a Twitter friend, doesn't matter. Pictures will be uploaded, and you guys will be able to get private access to see how I built my hotel rooms. I'm gonna place a light right here, and since this is a public bathroom, it's gonna be hooked up to the public power lines. This actually needs to come out one more. Not this, but I'll show you guys in a minute. But I'm gonna hook this up to the public power line, since it's a public bathroom. So the lights will be turned off with the hotel, since, yeah, it's not private, it's public. I need to place a bathroom, because what that room is, that cobblestone room, those are 2 bathrooms, so I need to actually place it just right. And this isn't actually long enough, it needs to come out 1 more block, and that's what I was trying to say. And then now I can place the redstone lamp inside. So I'm gonna place a redstone lamp there too. I'm gonna do a little bit of wiring so I know how it's looking right now, so I know where to place more. I'm gonna place a redstone lamp here and wire it in. I'm gonna place a redstone lamp before you go into the bathroom, so like right about here. And I think that's pretty good for lamps. So I'm just gonna wire it all together now. I wanna move that over 1 block. And I'm gonna connect that to the power line in the bathroom too. If I remember. Okay, so connect it to the power one in the bathroom. Right there. Okay, I did remember. I was like, oh my gosh, really? But I did remember, okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing that we did over here. Now we're gonna do the same thing over here that we did on the other side. So we're just mimicking every single detail that we did. So I'm just coming over here to look at how I did it, so I can get it exactly as I did over there, over here. And there we go, that's the whole room. We just have 4 more rooms to go. Okay, so we're gonna finish up the last 2 rooms. So right over here, we're just gonna come in and we're actually gonna use this spot over here to build our reset switch and our power switch. So I'm going to make a line, and then right here I'm going to actually put our power switch in. This is going to be our reset switch, actually. Wait, that needs a redstone and then a redstone lamp thing there. And then I'm going to just place that there, and that's our reset switch. I need to add a repeater, then I'm going to add our redstone a little bit, and now I'm going to start adding our redstone lamps where I would like them to be placed. So that's 1 down. Let's get 1 right over here. Then we're going to come right in here, skip 3, and then we're going to come right over. Ooh, this is, okay, well, we're going to skip 4. And then place 1 right here. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to add a redstone piece right there, and a redstone there, and a redstone repeater, and then I'm going to build the machine. There we go. Now I'm going to redstone wire the whole thing, which is I'm just going to run redstone straight across, then come over here and run it straight across again, and then come in the middle and attach it. You guys are going to come over, and on the other side you're going to do the same exact thing right over here as we did previously. So now I'm just going to place in the lights. They're exactly the same as they are in the other side. On the other side. Then I'm going to place our redstone repeater, our piston, and our block. And there we go. We have 2 more rooms to go. Technically, we only have 1 more to operate, because that's it after that. The rest of them are just... the other side is just equal to that, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to place one here. And then I'm going to break it here. Actually, I don't want it to. I want to break it right here. So it's going to run right here. So this is going to be our yeah, it's a little bit confusing on this one because they're so close together. I'm going to place that there. I'm going to place a repeater here and here. I'm going to place that there, which makes it light up. So if I break it, see, it lights up. So if I break that and then place that there and I place a torch there, it doesn't light up. See? So it keeps going forward. It won't go all around and access the block. So that's why I'm doing that. So you guys can run redstone on top of each other by using repeaters. If you guys are that good at redstone, that's how you guys can compress redstone contraptions, by using repeaters, by directing it only to one direction, which is forward. Okay, so that's skipped 4, this skipped 5, so we need to move that over. So it's skipping by blocks of 4. Then we're going to skip it by a block of 3 and 4, and then we're moving over here and doing the same exact thing. So now we're just going to wire it. And I just added that for extra power. Now it's time to build our little contraption that will make it reset. Now it's time to go on the other side and do the same exact thing that we did over here, over there. Okay guys, so that's basically it. Now you guys just gotta watch me do it again, or you guys can just stop the video here. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, guys. It really does help me out a lot. Make sure you guys share this video on a social network. That also helps me out a lot. The more shares I get, it supports me on making more videos faster, so I can upload more, more modern city, more kingdom, more RPG world, more Roman city builds, and all that good stuff that you guys really like. So again, thanks for watching. Bye guys.